What's up, cool kids? I'm coming to y'all with a transparent episode today, and it really is just your girl's been in a space of introspection. I've been telling y'all that I'm in a new spot, and as we're sitting in March, I uploaded a TikTok the other day actually, and I was like, I'm marching out of March with something. So here's the thing: March needs to change my life. I need to be marching out of March with a new bag. I need to be marching out of March with a new mindset. I need to be marching out of March with a new man bag. Like, I need to march out of March with something. Like, I need to march out of this month being brand new. Like, I cannot be the same girl that I was on February 28th. Like, must be new, right? But being new, there's new stuff that I gotta do. And we've been talking about that. And so I tripped off something that's so natural and so not even grand that I did yesterday. But the fact that I did it, I do it in a lot of other areas of my life, and it really kind of lit me up. So I want to talk about insecurity and things that we do to get secure. There's so many things that we do where we're trying to fill a void or puff ourselves up in a way. Last episode, I was talking about pride versus humility. There's a lot of things that we do in teeter totter. If you didn't listen to that last episode, listen to it because I think it kind of sets up this episode a little bit. So let me just say, so yesterday I was getting ready to go to church, right? And in me doing that, I was, getting myself ready, put on my fit, blah, 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 blah. And I put my headphones in. So I grabbed my AirPods. Now, here's the thing with my AirPods have been playing me. The last couple of times that I've grabbed my AirPods, one is fully charged, the other one's about to die, even though they both were sitting in the case the same amount of time. And it has been blowing me because once I left the house and I thought that both were on the same amount of charge and they were not. And so I ended up listening to music only in my right ear. That's not the experience that I want. I want surround sound. And so I was upset by that. I have another set of headphones and they're over the ear. I usually use them when I'm running or something like that, but they're not to replace my AirPods. They're to supplement. What happened yesterday is I was leaving my house. I grabbed my AirPods. I looked at them to check the charge before I left so I could be sure these are indeed the headphones that I can wear today. And they'll last me throughout my entire day as I go and as I return back to my house. I looked, they were fully charged, everything. There's nothing that is showing me that my AirPods are not going to provide me surround sound music throughout my commute. What did I do though? However, and I packed a small purse. So my small purse would only fit my AirPod case. It would not fit my large headphones because it is small. I have an inside pocket in my trench coat that I was wearing. I took my big headphones, I made it work and I put them in that inside pocket and took them with me, even though I was using my AirPods. And it was because I felt insecure about if they were going to be able to work throughout the whole day. And I was like, I want to listen to music today. I need to jam. And if I'm a jam, I must have both ears getting music. And so to ensure that if something happens with my AirPods while I'm out, that I'm able to still get music, I'm going to bring these headphones and I'm going to make sure that I can do that. Security detail. It was a security detail. Let me tell y'all what a security detail is. Security detail is a protective team assigned to protect the personal security of an individual or a group. So I was the individual yesterday, and to protect the experience that I wanted to have, I put an extra piece of security in place, an extra little, one small little detail. I'm just going to take my headphones with me. And that little piece gave me assurance. It gave me confidence as I went throughout my day. And my AirPods worked the entire time. Nothing happened. I actually didn't need the other headphones, and I could feel them in the pocket as I'm walking. And it was just like, okay, that's my security that is there. I do that with so many things. As I'm planning, as I'm moving with my creative pursuits, as I'm talking to people, there's this extra little detail that I might add in. There's this extra little thing that I say. There's this extra little thing I put in a text message. And it is a security detail. It's that extra little bit that I try to rely on to give me assurance or confidence in what I'm doing. So if plan A fails, I have this security detail. I have this thing that's following me around. I have this extra little bit, this shadow that's with me, right? So that way I can be foul proof. I can make sure that I'm good. Here's the thing with security detail. It distracts you from what you actually should be going towards. And so I think when we think about celebrities, right, they have security when they walk around. And that is to ensure that people can't just run up on them, that they're protecting their time. Presidents have a security detail. So that way, if there's a active threat, they are protected. And so when we think about security details, typically we think about that sense that if there's an active bomber or a shooting or something like that, the security detail is to protect the president survives, and boom, they're good. What happens on the day to day, though? The day to day is the president is walking around. They're going from this meeting to that meeting. They're going from this bathroom to this meeting room. They're going from this car to this building, this Starbucks, even. Have you thought about that? If you're the president, you can't just walk into a Starbucks, order you a caramel frappe, and walk out. That's not a thing. And you definitely can't do it without your security detail. What does that do to your mind after a while? How does that change your interactions with people after a while? How does that change how they view you? The authentic experiences that you can have, the level of transparency that you can exhibit. You cannot interact in the same way as you would solo dolo. You can't even go to the same places. People might start to get nervous because they can see your security detail. They get this sense that you guys aren't having an authentic experience or as transparent as you could be. That there's this level, this detail, this small little thing. They might not even be able to put their finger on it. But there's a thing that they may notice, or even a thing with you and yourself, where you're like, I'm not 100% right here. And it's because of the security detail that has been built up. That one little piece that you have been relying on, that you feel like this is just a little thing I keep in my bag to make sure I'm straight. But that becomes a double dependency that you have, and you can't fully go in on the things you're supposed to go in on. Let me tell you, I've been posting more with Power and Prose. I've been doing great. I have been showing up, but I need to show up more. There are things that I want to do. There's emails I'm supposed to be sending. There's a lot more stuff that I'm supposed to be doing, right? And it's not to say that what I'm doing is bad, but I have a couple details in place on my weeks, some habits that I've been doing and keeping up nursing that have been security detail on my purpose. And my purpose, the thing that I'm supposed to be doing, the thing that I'm graced and destined to do, I'm not giving it 100%. It's been 80, it's been 75, it's been 85, because I have to give some percentage to setting up my security detail. The president is being a president, right? He's doing his presidential thing. He's having the meetings he's supposed to have. He's going to places he's supposed to go. But you best believe there's a part in his week, there's a part in his month, part of his day where he is having to meet up with his security detail. Hey, this is the places that we're going today. Hey, yesterday I didn't feel supported in this way. Make sure that you're standing on this side and this side when I'm walking down the street. Like, they have to meet up. And it takes away his time from doing what he's supposed to be doing because he's setting up that security that he needs within himself. He's self-securing the assurance that is already provided. The security detail, the people are trained. They know what to do. They know what's popping. But for him to feel secure, there's an extra little piece that they have to set that up. I did the same thing yesterday. I'm running late to get where I'm going, but I had to take the extra time to put extra headphones so that way I felt extra secure as I was going about my commute. As we are having conversations with people, we'll put an extra LOL in a text message so that way we feel secure in sending the actual message that we want to send to a person. We'll put on an extra layer of clothing so we feel extra secure when people are perceiving us as we walk around, even though the original outfit outfit that we put on was straight, but we'll put on that extra layer so mugs think about us in a certain way. That's security detail, and it seems good. It seems like we're protecting ourselves. We might be doing it so we protect other people, but it really is a distraction, and it is low key telling us a script that might not serve us, that we can't trust ourselves, that we can't trust other people, that we can't trust God, that the plan that we're set out on is likely going to fail. So we need to start to plan another plan while we're working on the original plan. It doesn't really work, but we find ourselves doing that so often. And the protection, when we're trying to set up our own protection, it is because we do not believe that we are protected. We do not believe that God has given us everything that we need for the original plan to work, that He's given us everything that we need to walk on water. When walking on water sounds crazy, it sounds insane, and other people are not doing it. When Peter walked on water, he was the only one. It wasn't nobody else that was doing that. When you are stepping out, there's nobody else that got a podcast called Power and Prose, just me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so this is my walk on water moment. This is my stepping out on faith and believing in God. This is my plan A. And I have continuously set up security details. I've set up plan Bs. I've tried to set up plan Cs. I've talked to people and tried to get them to assure me that walking on water works. And they can't do that because they've never done it. They have no idea what it looks like to have a platform like this and see it become successful. They've never done it. And so I'm looking to them. I'm looking on YouTube, trying to find people that's doing stuff. I'm listening to stuff, bro. Like, I'm on Instagram looking at things. I'm looking for any sign that it'll work. And the sign is the fact that I'm doing it, the fact that I'm recording, the fact that I have the episodes that I have, the YouTube channel that I have, the Instagram posts that I've already done. That is me walking already. But what we do is we start walking on water, and then we take our eyes off of what we're doing and we start to look at everything else that's popping up, what everybody else is doing, and we start to psych ourselves out. And then in doing that, we start to scramble. And I'm like, I need a plan B, because nobody walks on water. And it's like, you do. You're doing it right here, right now. On your job, you're doing it. You're walking on water. That conversation that you had with your mama last week that was difficult, you did it. You're walking on water. Your siblings haven't had their conversations yet. But for some reason, you and your mom picked that day. That day was that day, and you did it. You going to the gym, you've been talking about going to the gym, and you haven't seen results yet, and you're still going. Where last time you didn't see results and you ate what you wanted to eat. You drank what you wanted to drink. You ain't count them calories no more. Like, you were like, I'm just going to do what I've been doing because I'm used to it. And now you're doing things differently. You're walking on water. And nobody else can tell you what walking on water looks like for you. The security that you're looking for is in the thing. Peter had security when he was walking on the water. And that's not a secure thing. Water is so flimsy, it's so floaty, it moves, it waves, it crashes, it thunders. But yet, that's where he was most secure when he was walking. As soon as he stopped doing it, that's when he began to sink. That's when the wind did start to billow. That's when he wasn't secure in his stance. Well, y'all know when I don't stand in being Miss Power and Pros, like when I try to cower back, it really just does not give. Like, it just doesn't. And it don't even feel natural. But when I speak, when I chit and chat with folk, do you know last week, oh my goodness, I was in a group of people. We're sharing and we're talking about God and like blah, blah. And I had a moment where I was like, I was taking up too much space in this combo. And I felt like I wanted other people to talk more or something. I don't know what it was. I also wasn't, I don't really need this when I talk all the time, but sometimes you're looking for social cues from people that what you're sharing is helpful, or am I taking up too much space? Are y'all contemplating what I said? Or is it like, girl, shut up? So I feel like I wasn't getting those cues as I was talking. And so I was like, oh, you don't need to talk anymore. Like, you need to shut up right now. And I wanted to provide space for other people to share their thoughts and their things. And they did, but it seemed like everybody spoke, and everybody spoke off of something that I said. It was like I was the flame that lit the fire for the conversation. And I got home and I thought about that. Now I felt great. I felt great. I kept talking to people. Conversations kept flowing. One combo over here is about the combo with people over here, and it was amazing. But it's because I stood in who I am. I'm a chatty Cathy, okay? And I have thoughts. I think about things all day. I have been writing a lot right now. And so when I write, oh, babe, you're going to get it. Like there's going to be thoughts over here that connect to a thought over here, that connect to a conversation I had this day, that connect to a video I watched over here. It's just going to happen. And I get excited about it. And I want to share. I want to hear what you have to think. And we're doing community together when that happens. I'm inspiring people when that happens. There's so much that happens in that space. And when I'm looking for security from people that, oh yeah, what you said was profound. Or, oh yeah, I love it when you talk. Or, oh yeah, I love it when your eyes lit up because you're telling me about what you wrote, whatever. When I'm looking for that security and I don't get it, I stop walking on water. I stop doing the very thing that I was called to do. Jesus called Peter to walk. And then he started like, I don't know, like da da da. And he started freaking out. It's like you were called to do this, which is why you started to do it in the first place. And so I got home and I was like, you are really trying to silence yourself when you speaking was the catalyst for so many great things to take place. Don't do that. Don't do that. Stand fully in who you are and stand 10 toes. Like, this is your time. This is your moment. And I really feel that. I really feel like I haven't been called to speak more than right now. For real. I haven't been called to take risks more than right now. I haven't been called to stand fully in being destiny than I am right now. And I feel like it's the same for you. If we're going to march out of March with everything that we're supposed to have, if we're going to connect with the people we're supposed to connect with, if we're going to walk into that new job, that new opportunity with this new bay, okay? Like if we're going to walk into anything, we have to stand 10 toes in who we are and what we're called to be. And 10 toes is 10 toes. There's no backup plan. There's no little piece of security. There's no side thing, no side hustle, side idea that you're keeping in the tuck on the side. We're going all in. And going all in, people see you go all in and you get respect, okay? You have that humility because you're like, yeah, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know. When you know what pride stems up? It's this over assurance in something. When you have two things popping, you're like, oh yeah, if this don't work, this work. So I actually don't need to ask for help. I actually don't need to have conversations. I actually don't need to post this thing. I actually don't need to talk about XYZ. You missing out on stuff because you have an over assurance. And that's how we start to lean into pride or being gluttonous in the wrong thing. When you can stand 10 toes in one thing, that thing that you're supposed to give your all to, that thing that people are going to see you kind of fumble your way around. Y'all are seeing me in real time to figure out what the heck am I doing with my life. Like you're literally seeing it in 4K. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I do. I'm taking one step at a time, another step at a time, one step at a time, another step at a time. And I'm testing my faith. I'm building my faith. I'm building out my voice. I'm building the muscle of me editing. I'm building up the muscle of me using new tools. I'm building up the muscle of me speaking out and what that looks like, and building the muscle of me showing up for myself, showing up for my community, showing up for my family, my friends. That's what y'all are seeing me do in real time. Y'all are seeing me build my relationship with God in real time. It's all happening. I can't fake none of the funk that's happening right now. It's not even funk. Like I feel great, but I'm feeling great because I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But 10 toes is 10 toes. And that's where you gain your security. It's in the details of that. When you have little side things, it's taking up time and it's taking up the actual confidence that you're supposed to be built. And the Bible actually guards us against being double-minded. When you're double-minded, you might not be able to achieve anything because you're focused on everything. Y'all have heard of that. You're the jack of all trades and the master of none. And people look at that being like, I mean, yeah, I mean, you can kind of do this, you can kind of do that. When we see celebrities, like, okay, well, you started this thing, but then you're doing that thing. I don't really get your brand. I don't really get, what are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to communicate? People get lost. They don't know how to support you, because support you in doing what? What's your mission? What do you care about? And the people that are successful, or the people that they might not even be successful if we're keeping it 100, but the people where you know what they stand for, it's the people that stand 10 toes in something. There's people that say stuff and they sound like a fool to me. I'm like, I don't know why you talk about that. I think anybody that support what you're talking about is crazy, because what are you talking about? However, I can even have a stance on their stance because they've made their stance clear. There's no backup thing. There's no dilly nor dally. They're them. If you're listening to me and for some reason, babe, you keep coming back, it's because I talk about authenticity, owning your truth, and God every week. Like, you're going to get that. We're going to talk about power. We're going to talk about owning your voice. And that happens every week. And so if you're looking for that, if you need that, if you're edified by that, you're going to come to Power and Prose and get it, because I'm standing 10 toes in something. And so the more that we do that, the more that we'll look up, and we started in one space and we find ourselves somewhere completely different. We've journeyed miles because we allowed ourselves to continue to walk on water. The thing that you're placing your dependency in, the thing that you're double-minded about, the thing that you're looking for extra security from, you don't need. I'm telling you, and I know it is risky. It's risky. Imagine if Biden was walking around with no security detail. That would be risky. That would be vulnerable. He will be open. But what we have to do is that. Like, it's literally that. Walking around and saying that the security that I have in Christ, the security that I have in the fact that I'm the president. Think about it. If I saw Biden in Starbucks without security, I personally, I can't speak for every person, right? But for me, there's still some authority that I see in his title. There's still some authority I would see in his countenance. I wouldn't just walk up on him and be like, "Oh, Biden, what's good?" Like, you know what I mean? Because you the president. Now, you is the president. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so think about that. There's authority that you have. There's power that you have. And you get it. You're getting it from a real good source. You know what I'm saying? And so you don't need these extra things that you think you need. You don't need this extra step of approval, that extra headphone in your pocket to make sure that you get the music that you want to get. There's music that will be played throughout your life of you just doing your regular smuggler thing. And it won't only bless you and sound good to you, it'll bless the ears of God, and it'll bless the ears of people that are seeing you do your thing. Bless the ears of people that are hearing you speak your testimony, share your story, your journey. But if you are taking extra time to put extra parameters in place that you don't even need, it just becomes noise, and it gets really unclear on how people are to support you, what people are experiencing with you, and how you're experiencing yourself. That's where we get the insecurity. That's where we don't get the trust, because we haven't told ourselves, hey, it's okay to trust this decision that I made. Hey, it's okay to talk about this thing because it excites me. We start to tell ourselves scripts that we don't even notice we're writing, because we have built up this extra parameter, this extra hoop that we have to jump through before we stand 10 toes in something. And it halts us. And so sometimes we are upset at God, or we're upset at our community. We're upset at just the process in general, because it seems to be taking a real long time to get what I want to get. It seems to be taking a real long time for people to get behind this cause that I'm doing. It seems to take a real long time for this thing to make sense. But the holdup is us. The holdup is your journey is waiting on you to walk it 10 toes down, and it's only seeing 8. So for you to get the full manifestation of what you're supposed to get, it's like, as soon as I get the 10 toes, I got you. As soon as I see the 10 toes, the partnership is waiting there for you. As soon as I see the 10 toes, you got the collab, you get the deal, you get the house, you get the membership. Everything that you're looking for, you'll get it. But I don't see the full commitment. I don't see that you want it for. I think you want it kind of, sort of. So you're getting a kind of, sort of result. As soon as you stand 10 toes in your journey and you walk that thing out, Yep, people gonna see you doing it. Yep, if you sink a little bit and you cry out for help, they may see that. Yep, when you fumble through and you did something one way last time and the next way this time, I got a vlog to edit after this. And it might not look nothing like how I edited my vlog last week. Somebody might be like, oh, dang, now she's changing her edits. And I'm gonna change it as much as I need to until I feel comfortable with what I'm doing. And that's just what it is. But what can stop me is if I think about that. If I'm like, oh dang, you're gonna see me do things one way, but I'm not fully committed to it. But what I'm committed to is showing up. That's what is the highlight of the moment. But when I start to think about this extra security, it could halt me from walking at all. The power tool for this week is to release the just in case. Release the just in case. Okay, if my headphones stopped working, then I would either listen with one AirPod, or that could have freed me up from having an experience of just taking in New York. Maybe there was a conversation I was supposed to overhear and it would have gave me an idea for some content this week. Or I was supposed to just hear some birds chirping and it would have reminded me that if God can provide for the birds, he can provide for me. Like, I don't know what would have happened, right? But if I found myself there, I could survive through it. That's the thing. A lot of times we're trying to give ourselves security because we're like, if this thing happened, it's over with. It's clips for me. Like, I don't want to even experience that because it's going to be too much. When really, we're stronger than we give ourselves credit for. And there's our brains come up with so many different scenarios. We get inspired by hardship where we'll find a way out some trauma and some drama. Okay. And so having a space to do that shows you just how creative you are. It shows you just how tenacious you are. But when we provide those just in case moments, we actually don't even get to the point where we can see our strength in real time because we don't give ourselves a reason to need that. So I'm risk averse. I've talked about it, but I'm really challenging myself this month to remove the just in case because it doesn't serve me. I'm not seeing my strength fully. And I want to see it. I want to know that I know that I know that I'm that girl. I want to know that I know that I know that if I go for something, I believe in myself enough to see it all the way through and to get to the point where I see the result that I'm looking for. And I'm like, yeah, it's because I stood and I did that. And it's from a place of humility, but it's also a place of having the confidence in the right thing. You know what I mean? My confidence in God can be 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 because I wasn't relying on God and disconnect with that ex coworker that I got. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, nope, it was just me and God in this thing walking on water, and He helped your girl make it to the other side. Like, I want to have that. But we be judging and we'll look at other people's confidence or their relationship with God, and it's like, yeah, but they journeyed. They walked on water with no just in case in their bag. That's why they have that confidence. That's why they have that assurance. That's why they have that relationship with God because they betted on him. They were like, okay, it's just me and you. So if you're not doing that, you're not gonna see that. And so I'm saying I want these things, but then I'll be having just in case. Let me just do this thing over here too. And I'm not seeing what I want to see all the way. And the worst part is I'm getting a taste. And I'm like, I want the enchilada and empanada. Don't leave nothing out. And it's like, well, you're only putting in enough faith to get the enchilada. So if you want the enchilada and the empanada, I'm going to need you to be 10 toes. So the power tool for this week, release that just in case. Whatever that just in case is, if it's that LOL in that text message, the next time you send a text, stand 10 toes on what you're saying. The next time that you send a tweet, stand 10 toes on that tweet. Don't delete it after you don't get likes in a couple of seconds. Like, whatever that thing is for you, post it and move on. Have that conversation, say what you need to say it in love, say it in truth, but say it and move on and see what you get, see what happens, see how you feel. And as you do it over time, you'll look up and your power, your authenticity, your truth, your confidence has built up leaps and bounds. And you're like, wow, I didn't even know I had that in me. And I didn't even notice that it was being built. But it's because you were incrementally removing the things that were holding you back. I hope that this has been helpful. I love y'all. We are standing 10 toes in this thing together, okay? Because it really is a journey. But when you think about it, you have all the things that you need to do what you need to do. which is why you are called to do it. You have all the things that you need. And whenever you second guess, whenever you are questioning, you just have to go back to that. If I wasn't supposed to be here, I wouldn't be here. Because there's plenty of people that ain't in this scenario. And I think we look at that usually as a negative thing. Like, I'm the only one that's sitting in this thing. But it's right, because you are supposed to be there. So that's a reminder for me, child, and I hope it has been a good reminder for you. If you haven't already, be sure that you support the Cool Kids Cry Too campaign. It is a campaign that I created for cool kids like me who are standing in their power but have maybe recently lost their place of employment, and they are looking for support in paying for therapy services. So if you are willing and you are able, be sure that you click the link to support. You can support by donating or even posting the links to your social channels and getting the word out about the campaign. We are running it until we get as many funds as we can to support as many people as we can, getting the therapy services that they need so they can stand in a safe space to share their power, their testimony, and their story with somebody who can help them on their trajectory to becoming the best version of themselves as possible. Also, if you haven't already, you can sign up for the Prose and Praise Pages newsletter. It's my weekly newsletter where I share all the cool kid happenings that are going on and give you a little bit of a power boost to get throughout your week. Also, subscribe to your girl on YouTube. I share vlogs and in weekly episodes, of course, thoughts, my unemployment journey, child, all of the things. So be sure that you connect with me on there. I love you guys. Remember to profess your power, and there's power in prose. Bye.